See, like this time value of money is the foundation of all. Like I will say that you will not get direct question on this, but you will be requiring the clear your concept, and application will be used throughout the level 1 syllabus. Okay. So let's see this how we'll solve. Okay. So Canara Bank is offering 9.15%. Okay, for fixed deposit. The compounding is quarterly. How much amount you will receive at the end of the period? For 2 years, how much you will get? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so 9.15% is the rate. Okay, so you are over here. Let's say try to find out the time value of timeline. Okay, so the quarterly compounding is happening. So this is 1 year. So there are two approaches to this. Okay, like let's take the first approach. Okay, in the first approach, what I will do is I will compute the effective annual rate. Okay, effective annual rate is given as 1 plus periodic rate to the power number of period in 1 year minus 1. So what is my periodic rate? It will be 9.15. Okay, I will take the percentage, that is by 100 to the power 4 minus 1. Okay, that will give the periodic rate, right? So let's see the calculator. So what you have in the calculator, you will do 9.15 divided by 4. Okay, you will take the percentage plus 1. Okay, you will take y to the power x 4 minus 1. Okay, so this is your periodic rate. Okay, into 100 will give you like into 100 if you want to do. Okay, right? So this is your rate for the 1 year. Now can I say that the same logic which I have given you earlier is, can I say that the amount you will get after 2 years will be 1000 into 1 plus your effective annual rate to the power number of years, right? So can I say it will be 1000 into 1.094688 square. Okay, so this is how you can get. So what you do is, okay, you can compute that. Okay, so take percentage plus 1. Okay, you square it into 1000. So you are getting 1198. So after 2 years you will get 1198. So this is one method. Another method what we can say is, another method what we will be having is, you know that FV will be equal to PV 1 plus I by Y to the power N. Okay, here this is simpler, right? PV is 1000, 1 plus I by Y is how much? 9.15 divided by 4. Right? So this is your periodic rate. And how many periods are there? 8 periods are there. This method is much better than this method. Okay, but sometimes like you will require this method to be used. I want you to understand how this required rate is computed. Okay, how do you compute? So somebody says you to, like, we have been giving these required rates, right? So in the CFA, like, there are concepts are like, one is required rate, one is discount rate. Okay, what we say is required rate is the rate, okay, that you want. Okay, after your analysis, this is the rate you want. Okay, and required rate and discount rate are one and the same thing numerically, but what happens is required rate, when we are going from present to future, we use the word required rate. When we come from future to present, we use the concept discount rate. Okay, so present to future you will use required rate, future to present you will use, because this process is called as discounting. You are getting lesser value, so your value is becoming lesser, so this is what is discount rate. Okay, now how exactly you compute this required rate of return? So what is the process of computation of this required rate of return? Okay, so what is the method that is being followed? Okay, now we assume that the interest rate cannot be below 0, so interest rates have to be above 0. Okay, this is our assumption. So what we have is, we have a floor rate of 0. Okay, and we have one rate which is called as risk-free rate. What is risk-free rate? Risk-free rate is the rate which at which you can deposit without taking any risk. That means there is no default risk. Okay. Now banks are not necessarily risk free, like but we can say that government bond is a risk free. Okay. Government bond is a risk free only if it is in the domestic currency. Okay. Right. So let's say the government is giving some rate. So let's say, or even government bank we can take as risk free. Let's say government bank, Canara Bank is giving you 10% per annum rate. Okay. Compounded annually, assuming. Okay. So this is your rate, right? Now this rate is what is called as nominal risk free rate. Okay. So we have two type of rate. One is real rate and another is nominal rate. Okay. Now what exactly is nominal rate? Nominal rate is the rate which includes inflation. Okay. So nominal rate, it includes inflation. So nominal, it includes inflation. Okay. Now why we are saying it includes inflation? Because if you see, you invest 100 rupees in Canara Bank for 1 year, you will get how much? 110 after 1 year, because it is compounded annually. Okay. Now let's say you are able to buy one pen. One pen is costing 10 rupees today. How many pen you will be able to buy? 10 pen, right? Now the price of pen becomes 12 rupees after 1 year, right? With this 110 rupees, how many pen you will be able to buy? You will be able to buy 9 and you will be left with 2 rupees. In what has happened is, in nominal sense, your money has increased from 100, you have got 110 rupees. But in the real sense, what has happened is, earlier you were able to buy 10 pence, but now you are able to buy only 9 maybe 16. If you include the decimal, you are able to buy only 9.16 pen. That means in real world you have become poor. You have become poor. In nominal world you have become rich. Okay. So that is, whatever the rates that the banks give you are not the real rate. They are nominal rate. So what we say is, your 10% per annum is your nominal risk-free rate. But I want to know what is my real risk-free rate. So from this nominal risk-free rate, let's say if I reduce this, this is the inflation amount. If I reduce this, this will become my real risk-free rate. Okay. So roughly we say that nominal risk-free rate nominal is roughly equal to risk-free rate real plus, please note that it is not the actual inflation but expected inflation. That is, what is the expectation of inflation of the people. Okay. So this is the approximate formula. The actual formula is this: 1 plus risk-free rate in nominal will be equal to 1 plus risk-free rate real into 1 plus inflation expected. Okay. So this is the formula. So what we have is 0, you have real risk-free rate, you have inflation, right? So this is how you will be getting the required rate of return. Not really, because if you see, we have been talking about those entities wherein you are getting when the investment is risk-free. But I do not know if you know, there is a company called as JP Associate. Okay, the company which is credited to bring the first F1 track in India, right? JP Associate, right? So they are having fixed deposit also. So if you see there, the fixed deposit that they are offering, let's say, I do not know whether they are offering 1 year, assuming that like they have 1 year rate, I think they are offering around 12% rate. So Canara Bank is offering 10% for the fixed deposit. JP Associate is giving 12% fixed deposit rate. Why they are giving 2% more? What is the reason? Now Canara Bank is a government bank, right? If at all Canara Bank fails, government will pay my money. But JP Associate is a private company. If they are risky, right? If they fail, my money will be gone, right? So this 2% is to compensate me for what? This 2% is to compensate me for the risk, what we say as the default risk. Okay. So what we do is, whatever the nominal risk-free rate, on that I add my default risk premium. That is the additional rate I want for the entity which will become default. This is your ground level. Can I say that this is your real risk-free rate? This is your, yes, inflation premium. After that, what you have is default risk premium, right? Now think about JP fixed deposit for 1 year is giving 12%. If you see the prospectus for 2 year, they are offering 12.75%. Okay. Why this 0.75% more they are offering? What is the reason? So for 1 year you get 12%, for 2 year you get 12.75%. What we say is slightly risk increases because the more number of years it happen, okay, the chances of that person defaulting becomes increases. So what you have is, what we say this over here is maturity risk premium. Why? Because your money is getting locked up for more number of years, okay, and as a result the chance that the money that you want is more because you are not having the benefit of your money for more number of years, right? So you want more return. Okay. So what we have is this extra 0.75% is because of maturity risk premium, right? So can I say that if I add this real risk free, inflation premium, default risk premium, maturity risk premium, I will get my required rate? Or we are missing something? All of these are as of now before tax. Okay. Inflation we are adding because if inflation, Ibrahim, like if inflation is 10%, you do not want your required rate to be 5%, right? You will, whatever the real rate on that, you will top with inflation, you want more return. Okay. Now we are missing one thing. Think about real estate. Okay. Most of the people will say that invest in real estate, you will get very good returns. People say that, right? But I seriously doubt. But anyway, like people say that real estate you get very good return. Okay. Think about if you were given an option to invest in real estate and stock. Okay. Your money gets locked up in real estate for a long time, right? If you want to sell your real estate, you have to go to a broker. He will search other people. It may take some 1 year also, 6 months, 1 year it can take for your transaction to happen, right? Well, stock, you directly go to the internet, sell your stock. Okay. So what you have is you are having higher liquidity in stock and you are having lower liquidity in real estate. So we have one more premium which is known as liquidity risk premium. So what we say is in real estate you have lower liquidity, or what we say is you have higher liquidity risk. In stock you have higher liquidity, what we say is you have lower liquidity risk premium. Okay. So for any investment what you have to do is you have to understand what is the risk premium over there. Okay. So think about JP company has a bond also. Okay. A 2-year bond. Okay. Now a 2-year fixed deposit is highly illiquid because your money will get stuck for 2 years. You cannot withdraw it. Okay. But a 2-year bond, if you are investing, you can sell anytime in the market, right? If your 2-year bond is giving, let's say over here, as of now I do not know this. Okay. As of now I do not know this. JP Associate has a 12.75% bond rate. Okay. What can be said about the fixed deposit rate for JP? Should it be more than 12.75? Should it be less than 12.75?